I'm still calm and humble.
Welcome everybody to an all new Ultimate One Wrestling News, and tonight we're going to do a preview of the All Out that's going to happen this Saturday. I am very looking forward to this event, to this pay-per-view after nearly 18 years, you could say, that we all waited for competition to happen against WWE. And here we are, only days away from actually getting to see a great card coming up for All Out. Of course, All Out, AEW, this is the big major pay-per-view that they've been putting together to be 2 months before, or a month from now, a month and a half from now, from putting their product on TNT. And this is something I'm really looking forward to. And we're going to go through every match and what I think that is going to happen at All Out. Who may be the guys that may pop out. I mean, I saw Being the Elite this past week, and I saw somebody in Being the Elite that is not in any promotion right now, that his contract ended in June or July, I think it was, and has his last match in Impact. So a lot of things can happen. As you guys well know, Jon Moxley had a pretty much bail out of his match because, you know, his elbow injury. He had bursa in his injury, his elbow. They don't know where he caught it at. He could have caught it in the G1 Climax when he was wrestling in that tournament in Japan. And of course, Omega did a promo stating that Jon Moxley pretty much, you know, he has a little boo-boo, now he's not wrestling. I mean, it's all a promo just to get everything going. I liked what they did. This pretty much sets up a showdown between Omega and Moxley on October 2nd. I'm pretty sure Moxley's going to be ready for that when that happens, and we're all going to be like, wow, you know, this a setup for the storyline between these two. I love the part where Omega said, hey, my first time I did the G1 Climax, I won. How did that go for you, Moxley? And Moxley was dominating the G1 Climax with 10 points, but ended up losing the rest of his matches, the next 4 matches in New Japan. But let's go through the All Out. Pretty much the pre-show match is going to happen. It's going to be Private Party versus Jack Evans and Angelico. This match is going to be great. I think, honestly, this match is going to be 2 teams, high-flying. Angelico and Jack Evans has proven that they could be in the ring with the best of them. I mean, they had a great match against Best Friend. I believe it was Fight for the Fallen or Fighter Fest, one of those, and they had a great match. That's when the Dark Order popped out, and I believe it was Fight for the Fallen. Jack Evans and Angelico is pretty much, they are very good wrestlers and great, very good team. Private Party, of course, I've been following them since House of Glory. They had a great match back in this month, beginning of this month, against the Young Bucks and House of Glory, High Intensity 8, and it was a great match. So that is a good match. It's going to be a match that is going to really start the event that night, and it's going to get everybody warmed up to what's going to happen for the rest of the night. Another match that I may think they may put it in the pre-show, it may be or it's not, but it could be the SCU versus Luchasaurus, Marco Stunt, and Jungle Boy. That match was included this week, that 6-man tag, and as you well know, Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, they did very well in a tag team back in Fighter Fest when they were in a 3-way. Luchasaurus is, for a guy 6'5", he's a great athletic wrestler, and he does a lot of good moves, a lot of stuff off the top rope. He kind of reminds me of what Lance Hoyt is doing now, which Lance Hoyt is a little bigger than him. He's like 6'9", 6'10", and he's doing stuff in the ring that luchadors or the high flyers do, and that's something for us as wrestling fans to get used to this, because you're gonna see a lot of big guys trying to do crazy stunts off the rope, even though I'm not too crazy about that because they could get hurt in the process. But hey, these guys are doing it, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good for wrestling, and it's nice to see that that's gonna happen. Also, they're gonna have the of course the Casino Battle Royal And I believe that they're gonna have in that match, and I'm gonna read them all. They're gonna have Brandy Rose, Ali, Yuka Sasaki, Britt Baker, Nyla Rose, Jazz, and Jazz. Guys, don't remember she used to be in WWE back in the Attitude Era. She was also the NWA Women's Champion for almost 2 years, and she had to pretty much vacate that title for personal reason. I think she was sick or whatever. For the NWA Women's Championship, she had to let it go. So she's going to be a force to reckon with in there. They're going to have Ivelisse, Tia Piper, which is Roddy Piper's daughter, Sadie Gibbs, and it's supposed to be 11 other participants in there to be announced. The winner will earn a shot at the inaugural AEW Women's World Title coming up probably. I think it's the second week of TNT. I think it's October 9th. That's going to be something to look for. The match after that, I think they're going to start off. They're going to open up the match with Riho and Hikaru Shida. The winner of that match becomes the number one contender and meets the winner of the Casino Battle Royale. These two little young girls, Riho and Hikaru Shida, they look like little girls, to be honest with you. The Japanese women wrestling, they look like very small, whatever, but they're very competitive. They are very active, and they know how to wrestle and the whole nine. So it's gonna be pretty awesome to see who's gonna be the two ladies who are gonna end up wrestling for the AEW Women's Title. Right after that match, they're gonna have the Best Friends versus Dark Order, and the winner receives the first round bye in the AEW World Tag Team Tournament, which will start October 9th. That's Dark Order. I mean, Uno, he's kind of, you look at him and you say, you look like a fat slob, a guy who can't move, but the guy can wrestle. The guy could do stuff off the ropes, and it's something to look forward. His tag team partner, I don't remember his name, but he's pretty jacked up, and he's pretty good. The Best Friends, of course, Beretta and Chucky T. These guys, they are a very formidable tag team. They've been around for a while, and they're going to give them a run for their money. But that match is going to be good. I will be surprised if the Best Friends lose this match. I could see Dark Order winning that and maybe getting the first round bye, because the winner of that gets the first round bye, which doesn't mean the Best Friend will not be able to go after the AEW World Tag Team titles in the tournament. They will be part of the tournament, but I guess the winner of this gets a first round bye. So I see the Dark Order getting a first round bye. Then the match that I'm really looking forward to, which Joey Janela, the bad boy Joey Janela. That guy is off the hook. He's always getting into some fight. So it's going to be Joey Janela versus Jimmy Havoc and Darby Allin. This match, I'm telling you right now, that match, you're going to see a lot of hardcore stuff. And don't be surprised if Joey Janela ends up going through a table. And then you got Jimmy Havoc. Jimmy Havoc is a nut. This guy will bring, he's going to probably bring a piece of roll or a piece of cutter, and somebody's going to be bleeding by the end of the night. Darby Allin really showed his true wrestling skill when he fought Cody Rhodes at Fighter Fest, and he gave him a run of money. That's the night that Shawn Spear cracked Cody Rhodes' head with the chair. But Darby Allin is a good wrestler. For a guy you see that he looks real skinny, whatever. But tell you, these guys in this rosters, they are very good. They're very good. So this is something I'm really looking for, because it's gonna be a crazy match. My pick on this, I think Darby Allin is gonna end up winning that match. You can also say Jimmy Havoc. I don't see Joey Janela winning this. I know Joey Janela is gonna end up getting hurt, going through a table or doing some crazy stunt. But here's one match that, if you're a pro wrestling fanatic that's been watching wrestling probably from the 80s to 90s, the Attitude Era, the NWO days, and followed NWA back in the 80s with Dusty Rhodes, the Horsemen, Ric Flair. This is one match that the storyline is beautiful, because it's Cody Rhodes versus Shawn Spear, but Shawn Spear is going to have Tully Blanchard. And I said this a couple of videos back. This is a good storytelling because it's like Tully Blanchard knows the Rose family. Who better to have in your corner than Tully Blanchard? I don't know who Cody Rhodes is going to have, but I was reading in the dirt sheet that most likely he'll have somebody in his corner, and they were doing a poll who he should have. But no, I think he should just go by himself, and maybe he'll have Brandy Rose. Who knows? But I think he should go himself because it makes it more interesting. So that's something. I think Shawn Spears is probably going to be Cody Rhodes. Going to put him over. I think Cody Rhodes is going to put him over. But this is not going to be the last time you see these guys going at it. Of course, the next match will be Kenny. It was supposed to be Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley, but of course, like I told you earlier in the beginning of this video, Moxley had to pull out because he caught an infection in his elbow. He had bursa. He had a day of surgery, and then like I said before, BTE, he pretty much Kenny Omega kind of put him down, saying that he went home crying like a little boo boo because he had a little boo boo. But instead of Jon Moxley, now you got Pac. Who was also known as Neville, as you guys remember him from WWE. And Pac, of course, had issues back in January where he was supposed to wrestle Hangman Page in Double or Nothing. But, now, dirt sheets are claiming that Pac had visa issue. That wasn't the claim back in January because it was that Pac had an issue with him losing to Adam Page because he was the Dragon Gate champion at that time. So, of course, if you're a champion, you're not supposed to lose. This is not WWE where you see champions losing to guys every week. It's ridiculous. But in this case, was more logic. You don't lose to anybody if you're the champion. So now he's not the Dragon Gate champion. It's perfect. But I feel that Pac was supposed to be around anyway. He was going to make some type of appearance or whatever, because I had in my head that Pac was going to interfere in the Chris Jericho Adam Page match, and I guess that was the plan. But because Moxley now is out, now you have Pac versus Kenny Omega. Does not mean that Pac will not interfere in the title match, but never know. But as Kenny Omega and Pac, they're going to tear the house down. If you don't believe me, these guys are going to tear the house down. Pac is a good wrestler. He's not limited like he was in WWE. He had a great match with Will Ospreay at the beginning of this year. It was awesome. So trust me, these guys are going to tear the house down. And then the next match will be the tag team match, the Escalera de Muerte, the ladder match for the AAA World Tag Team titles. The Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros. Now the question is Rey Fenix 100%? And like I said, in one of my audio podcasts, Rey Fenix got hurt on Friday when he was wrestling for Big Time Wrestling, and him and his brother Pentagon were wrestling Juventud Guerrera and Teddy Hart. Apparently, he super kicked Teddy Hart, and when he went to pick up Juventud Guerrera, he collapsed. They were scared. They were scared that he broke his leg. There was a fracture, whatever. But Valkyrie, who was the Impact Women's Champion, tweeted that there was no fracture, no broken leg, so he was alright. But he wrestled the next night, so he may be good. He may be in good, maybe not 100%, probably 85%. But it's gonna be something. This is gonna be a crazy match because this is probably gonna be like ladder wars and like Ring of Honor. But this is called Escalera de Muerte, which means the stairways to death. And stairway to death. Anything with death in wrestling, you know it's gonna be crazy, out of control. Hopefully no one gets hurt, but this is going to be very interesting to see. Then finally, of course, you have the AEW World Heavyweight title match between Chris Jericho and Adam Page. This is going to be something that I'm really looking forward to, because now the question is this going to be interference? Is CM Punk going to be part of the interference in that match? I'm not saying it will be, but hey, you never know. It's in Chicago. The Pac may interfere because I think Pac was the main plan to be there. Who knows? Maybe Johnny Impact, who he came on BTE, which I was very surprised to see in this week's BTE 167, where his wife Valkyrie, and he popped out. So anything is possible, and I feel that this pay-per-view is going to change the landscape of professional wrestling. A lot of people are hoping and dying that AEW falls flat on their face. I personally think that those who are wishing that don't like competition, don't know nothing about wrestling, all they care is about watching WWE and they garbage Raw every week. But we're not here to talk about that. We're talking about AEW's All Out. Would it bomb? I don't think it's gonna bomb. It's gonna be a great card. I mean, I just gave you a rundown of all the whole card, and the matches. And it's something to look forward to. I'm hoping that you guys tune in and am able to see it. I mean, yes, it's a little steep. It's $50, but it's $50 worth the money. I'm telling you right now. I paid paid the last pay per view was Double or Nothing, and I was not disappointed. I still have it on my DVR, and I got people still asking me to make copies of that and all that stuff. So it's something to look forward to, guys, and you will not be disappointed. I'm telling you right now. So tune in Saturday. AEW is gonna put a smile on your face. You're not gonna regret it. And me, as a professional wrestling fan for 45, 46 years, I've been watching wrestling forever. This is something I've been waiting for 18 years. I was happy when they did All In last year. This year's All Out. I was happy with the Double or Nothing. I was happy with the Fighter Fest. A Fight for the Fallen. It's great. It's wrestling. And this is what we're supposed to be looking forward to. Anyway, I'm going to cut this short. I want to thank those who are subscribed to my YouTube channel. Again, hit that notification bell for new uploads every week. I always put new stuff. You can check me also on my platforms on the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Click the top when you get to my YouTube channel, and you get all my information, everything you need. I also have a audio podcast on Apple called the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. If you guys want to check that out, support the podcast. I thank you very much for all my subscribers, all my supporters who continue to come and support me at my podcast. And hopefully I'll have a review of the All Out after Saturday. And hopefully you guys tune in and get to hear my opinion and my feedback on the matches. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that thumbs up, leave me your comments and your feedback, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as possible. Once again, this is the Ultimate One coming to you live from New York City. Love y'all. Have a good night.
Come get some. I'm the original ultimate. Come get some ultimate. I'm the original ultimate, and I'm still calm and humble.